Hi crafters, it's Hannah from Handcrafted Creations. Welcome to today's live class. So for today I've got 4 projects for you, and they're all going to be using Designer Series paper. So I thought I've got quite a bit of it left, and we're sort of winding down to when we're going to be getting the new catalogue. So obviously I want to try and use up paper, and so I thought today would be a good day to show you some projects all using the paper. So I don't have much chat for you today. Obviously celebration is finished, so that's that done. But I will have some offers for you coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. Saturday we will be at On Stage, which is Stampin' Up's event. So I will be sharing on. I'll try and post some stuff on the day, what I can, because obviously we'll be seeing lots of new stuff. We'll see the new catalogue and everything. So what I can post, I will as soon as I can. So there'll be lots of new things coming up very soon. So stay tuned as well. And that is pretty much all of the chat, really. I don't really have much else to chat about. So we will just get started straight away. So I'll switch you over to here. So the first project that I'm going to show you is a card, and I'll show you, we did a team training last week, and this is the card that we made. So I'm going to show you how we put that together, but I'm going to try something else, something different, to see if it works. Hopefully it will, and it might make it a little bit quicker, maybe not, I'm not sure. So for my card base, I've got Night of Navy. Oh, people are saying they can hardly hear me. I'm not sure why, because as far as I can see, my volume is up. So if you're really struggling, let me know, and I'll try and speak up, but I'm going to carry on. So that's our card base, is Night of Navy, and then I've got a layer of Emerald Envy, and then a piece of Very Vanilla. So this is the piece that we are going to stick all of our pieces of the what's it called? Truly Tailored, True Gentleman Designer Series paper. I probably should have found that out beforehand, really, shouldn't I? The name of the paper, so you can, get it and everything. It's in the spring summer catalogue, and let's see, let me try moving my mic over. Okay, I've moved my mic closer to my mouth, so hopefully that will help. I don't know. Where's it gone? There we go. And it is the True Gentleman, I was close, Designer Series paper. So that's there in the spring summer catalogue, and we're going to use the stamp and the punch and all that. So first thing we're going to do is stamp our sentiment, and I'm going to do the Looking Sharp, so I like that one. And I'm stamping that in Night of Navy on a piece of Very Vanilla. So my blocks are clean, so hopefully this will stick. And so stamp that and punch it out with the coordinating punch. There we go. So we don't need the punch, well, might not need the punch again. So we'll clean off the stamp and put that away, because we've done stamping now on that one. Okay, then I've got another piece of Very Vanilla, and what we did on this one is we stuck each piece individually down and left a bit of a gap. But what I'm going to do is use the adhesive sheets and just cover the whole lot of it, and then stick them down without any gaps. so this might make it just a little bit quicker to do. So if I peel up backing, and place that down and give that a good press. Hi everybody, I hope you can hear me. If not, just watch along. Okay. So I'm just going to trim. Do I need to? Yeah, trim down the edges. And then we can get to sticking everything down. Okay. Now, there we go. So that is completely sticky now. So I'm going to start with the sentiment and place that where I want that first. And I'm going to go about there. Try and get it as straight as you can. Like so. And then just start sticking the rest down and bump it right up next to the previous piece, so we're not leaving any gaps. And just keep going, and hopefully it will look good when it's all done. So the good thing about the designer series paper is it's double-sided, so you can, out of one sheet you've got two designs. So say that one is that side, but then just flip it over and you've got the another colour that coordinates. So and it should, oh whoops, whew, that was close. It should all nicely fit together and make a nice pattern. Hopefully it will look good. So yeah, when we did it in training, when we did it in training, we stuck them down with wet glue, but I think this is a little bit quicker, and I don't use the adhesive sheets much, so it's a good way of using those up as well. So obviously you just need to hang over the edges, and then when we've done it all, then we can trim it down. That one. Go that one. And there. Okay. So flip it over and burnish it really well, just to make sure it's really stuck, and then trim those edges off. So long pair of scissors for this is very useful. So that I think is a lot quicker than doing it with the wet glue. And that side. There. Oh, I like it. That looks cool. I really like that. I think I actually kind of prefer. Oh dear, I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm a little bit blah. I actually prefer it without the gaps in, I think. That looks nice. So, oh, you know what I've done? I needed a piece for inside and I've cut it. But that's fine because I've got one of these left, so I'll stick it in. Yeah, save wasting it, eh? So this one I'll just use some Tombow. Oops. Oh, that's squiff now. There. And this, which way will fit in? Should I or shouldn't I? Well, I've stuck it down now, so. Oh dear. That way. Why not, eh? Oh. And I've got a mess everywhere. There we go. That'll do. So then let's finish the card. Just burnish that. Make sure it's the right way around. And I'll use Fast Fuse for this bit. So we have been told that Fast Fuse is retiring with the new catalogue. So if that is your favourite adhesive, make sure you stock up because it's going to be gone. I don't know if they're replacing it with something, they haven't told us that, just that it will be retiring. So oh, nearly. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, just to finish it off, we will add some of the True Gentleman buttons. It's in the same suite. With that size, and a little one. On the big one, I'm going to add some linen thread. So I'm just going to thread it through as if you were doing actually sewing on a button. There's 4 holes, so we'll thread through all 4. Oops, so what have I done? Let's try that again. So I'm just going to do the one button, I won't do all of them. Thread. Oops. Through there. And there. And then we can tie that in a little bow. There we go. Make the loops a little smaller. If you tie a bow in, it kind of looks a bit weird. Then maybe make your loopies smaller, because sometimes if it's too big for whatever you're sticking it on, it kind of looks a bit odd. And make sure your tails are kind of even. So glue dots we'll do for these. 1, 2, 3. So that one, whoops. will pop up the top by the sentiment, and then these two on the other side. I really like these buttons. They look good. And there we go. Love it. So that's the one we did in training. So you can see, I don't know if you can make it out, there's gaps in between the shapes and then the sentiments popped up. Whereas this one, it's all one flat design. Oh, love it. Okay, so that was the True Gentleman Designer Series paper. So let me just move these bits out of the way, because that's all of those finished with, and we'll move on to the next project. So for this one, this is a dead simple project that you probably will have seen before. So it's just a way of making a little gift pouch. There is a name for them and I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but when you see it you'll probably know what I'm thinking of. So starting off with a piece of 6x6 Designer Series paper, and you're going to add tape to one side all the way along, and then I've got to try and remember which way it is now. Yeah, and then the next two sides, so three sides basically of your paper, and this will be the inside. So whichever side you put the tape on, that will be inside, so make sure the outside pattern is what you like. Okay, so added those, and so you've got two pieces of tape on the top and bottom and then just one on the left. So you take the left one off and whoop, roll it up, and you're making a tunnel basically. So you're just sticking that down like so. Get your bone folder in there if you want to, and give it a burnish. Okay, so now you've got tape there and tape there. So take off one side of your tape and kind of have to just get your hand in there and peel that off and squeeze it together and give it just a bit of a press on the end there. Now you'd put whatever goodies you're gonna give, you put them inside now, and then take your other bit of tape off and squeeze it in the opposite direction to this end. So this end I squeezed and it's that way, so this top one I'm going to squeeze so it's that way. And that's your little pouch. And again, give it a burnish, give it a good press so your goodies don't fall out. Like so. And then I actually did these in a series on my here on YouTube for wedding table favours. So I will add a sentiment, but this is where in that series I added the place names. So that one, and we'll do a thank you. So we'll stamp, no, sorry, Flirty Flamingo, you're going to stamp the first one. Give that a good press. Oh, no, whatever. There we go. Just clean that off. And then this is going to get stamped in the middle. And hopefully, let's see, we'll just go for it. Hey, that's not too bad. Awesome. So then we use the punch that coordinates with the, sorry, that was the Label Me Pretty stamp set, and the matching punch. So we'll punch that out. And when I did them for table favours, this is where you would write the person's name. So it was a place setting and a table favour. So it had 2 uses. And I'm getting dimensional stuck to me. There. Come on. The back ends don't want to come off. There we go. And you can just pop that on there. So little gift pouch. So yeah, table favours, place settings. That's a really useful project for, or just for giving a little gift. So that's project number 2, and that was just with a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. So really easy one. Okay, and just move some of this rubbish out the way. Okay, next project. Hopefully I can remember how to do this, because it's been a while since I made this one. Well, I tried it. I saw it first on Pinterest, and I'm hoping that I remember it correctly. So for this one, I'm starting off with 2 pieces of designer series paper again. So what we're going to do is, with the envelope punch board, you're going to punch it at 3 and score, and turn it and punch it at 3 again on all 4 sides, and punch, and do the same thing for the other piece. So whatever size paper you start off with, you're just punching it in the middle. So this is 6x6, so I'm punching at 3. If it was 8x8, I would punch at 4, and so on and so on, etc, etc. Okay, now you need to grab the scoreboard, bring that in, and down each edge you're just going to score it at 1/2 inch. So well, it's just under 1/2 inch really, so say 3/8 of an inch really would be better. Yeah, so it's 1 notch under 1/2 inch. So it's basically the width of this little divot bit. And the same on this one. So I'm just going 1 notch under 1/2 inch. that one. Okay, so that's all of the scoring done. Oh, I'm getting hot now. I'm just take my jacket off. Oh gosh. Okay. So we'll just fold and burnish all of those score lines. And this is just paper, so you don't have to go really heavy when you're burnishing. You can do this with cardstock as well. And then those little lines on the side that you scored, burnish those as well. So you might be able to figure out where this is going. Basically these little sides are going to be tabs, and we're going to stick them, the two pieces, together. And on each one you just need to cut out, there's a little square that's formed there with the two score lines, and if you can, you can't see that side either, we'll just cut out the little corner there. So do that on all the four corners, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other piece. So I can show you again how we burnish. So actually I'm going to fold this the opposite direction. So we've got the two sides of the same paper. So burnish those score lines in the middle, and then the ones on the edge. So again, this is a nice little quick little project for if you want to give someone a little gift. If you're using two pieces of designer series paper, don't put anything too heavy in it, because it is just paper. If you have got something heavier that you want to put in, then one of these pieces can be cardstock and one of them designer series paper instead. So it just depends what you're gonna put in there. Can't see my line now. Okay. And that one. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to be sticking them together. So you need to add tape. So it's sort of going to fold up one that way, and then the other one is going to sit on top. So we'll add tape to, I think, do I do all of the sides? Let me just add tape to 3 sides first, and then on the last side, let me just check before I tell you. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, that's right. So just add tape to 3 sides and leave one side without any tape. So you're going to take your tape off and just match up the tabs. You can get your tape off, that is. So just do a couple of tabs at a time, and you want to go the corner is going to go into the middle of your other piece, so you're offsetting it. That's the word, offset. So stick your tabs down. Like so. and then just work your way around, just matching up the tabs. It's a little bit fiddly, but you'll get it. Okay. And take off the rest. So it is literally just tab to tab, but you've offset the squares. And this tape backing is not playing today. Okay. Just trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm just matching up those tabs. Go, and 2 more. Oh. And there. So I've left one open so you can put some goodies inside. And if you press down those tabs, then these two can tuck in and keep whatever you put in. And then you've got a, I don't know what shape that is, hexagon something or other shape box. So like I said, you can do it with cardstock if you want it to be a bit sturdier, or 1/2 cardstock and 1 paper. So just to finish it off, just pop that in, or you could add magnets and have the closure on the outside, or Velcro dots or something like that. So it will sit quite nicely. I'm just going to stamp a quick sentiment for on the top. And which stamp set? We'll use actually the Truly Tailored. It kind of has that shape to it, and we'll use To a Classy Guy. And I've got Emerald Envy ink here. Oh my life. Ideas from, I get a lot of ideas I get from Pinterest, and then yeah, and then just play and just see what happens. Because often, like when I'm doing my videos, I'll just pick a stamp set, pick some colours, and then just start playing and see what happens. If it doesn't turn out awesome, then I might not post that video, but then again, most of the times I usually do, just so you can see. Yeah, just playing and see what happens. I'll pop that up, but definitely Pinterest is my best friend for ideas. And Instagram as well, to be fair. And again, I forgot to say that Mum is over there on the chat, but you all know anyway. And oh, that's cute. I like that one. So yeah, and you can close it with ribbon as well, but you kind of have to wrap it on a bit of a squiff so it holds that part. So yeah, so that's our 3rd project. 1 more to go. I can't believe how the time is flying by already. Just move some of the gumph out the way. I'll put that up there. All the tape backing, there we go. Onto the floor. You should see my floor after I've finished crafting. It's a bit of a mess. Okay, last one, dead simple, is a quick little box. Starting off with a piece of 12 by 12. It's an origami box that we're going to make, so a bit of folding, but I'll go slow so you can follow along. So 12 by 12. Firstly, you're going to fold it in half and burnish. Open it back up and fold it in half the other way. And try and make sure that your corners meet up as best as possible. Oh, let me just, there we go. And then open it back up again, and you're going to fold the corners into the middle. So, and again, this is one that you might have seen before. It's not a new idea, it's just one that I quite like because it uses up a whole piece of designer series paper, and you don't have to do any gluing either if you don't want to. So corners into the middle. And the better you line it up, the better it'll look in the end, and really burnish quite well. So all into the middle. Okay, so keeping it like that, you're going to fold up the bottom into the middle. And burnish. And turn it around and fold into the middle again. And burnish. And that one you have to burnish a little bit extra because you've got a lot of folds there. So open it back out. Flip it 90 degrees and fold up from the bottom again into the middle. There. And burnish. Flip it all the way around and fold it up into the middle and burnish. Okay, then you're going to open it back up to this point. Then open the top flap and the bottom flap, and then you'll have two score lines here and here. So you're going to fold up those sides like so. So those are the sides, and then the only way I'll try and explain is here. So about here, you're going to have a fold that's going to fold inwards, and just fold and keep folding and fold. Does that make sense? And then this top flap folds over the top and folds all the way down. So just give it a good squeeze, and then, well, it's a weird angle, get your bone folder and burnish there. So I'll show you again on this side. So if you just start to press here, it'll automatically fold where it needs to fold. You see it's just going in, and then I'm just lifting up this flap until it gets to there. So I'll show you all the angles. so you can get what I'm saying. So I'm just pressing in here, and then this top flap just folds over, and give this part here a good press down, and get your bone folder in and give it a good burnish, and that is your little origami box. So you can, if you want to, stick these tabs down inside, but you don't have to, but I will just to show you. So I would just probably use just a bit of Tombow, probably be the easiest. Just squeeze it into the bottom and then press down. And if a tab pops up, then just add a little bit more and press. And that one. And I can't actually get that one up anyway, so yeah. And then I usually just go into the corners just to make sure they're folded in as much as they can be. And that's your little box, so you can put sweets in there, you can put whatever you like. And I'm just going to very simply decorate it. This is the Delightful Daisies Designer Series paper, and I don't think I told you what the last ones were. I'll go over them again in a sec. So, Delightful Daisies, and I want that one, and the middle of the daisy. So we're just going to make up a couple of daisies. I love this stamp set. And I want to stamp for a Night of Navy. So make sure when you're stamping it, you've got your petals going up and down. That will make it easy when it comes to punching it out. And there. I know daisies aren't blue, but why not? And then Daffodil Delight for the middle. And this one, the solid one, we're going to stamp off and then stamp it. So stamp off and then stamp. Oh, try and stamp in the middle of the flower, Hannah, that would be a good idea. And then this one, which is the detail, you just stamp it straight down. So you're just using the one colour, but because you've stamped it off, you get to see the detail. Okay, punch these out with the daisy punch, and because I stamped it with the petals up and down, you can just slide it straight into, whoops, haha, nearly. Straight into the punch. Oh dear me. And bam. Same on the other two. And there. Okay. So I'll just curl them under, and do this gently, you don't want to rip off your petals. So I tend to hold it at the bottom of the petal, not in the middle of the flower, because if I hold that bit there and curl it, chances are I'm going to rip it off. If you hold at the bottom of the petal, then it's usually okay. So just quickly go round and curl them under. and I found it looks better. Well, I prefer it anyway when you curl under rather than the other way. I think it sits nicely. Okay, and a couple of glue dots just to stick them together. So two are going to go together, and you're just going to offset the petals so it's a nice full flower. And there. And then I've got two circles that are, how big were they? 1.25 inches. No, I lied, 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, and that's just gonna sit underneath the flower. Like so. Just so if you can see a little bit of it in between the petals. There we go. And dimensionals on the back, and I'll use some of the edge pieces. Just one bit in the middle, to be fair. And grab your box. I'm going to stick one on that side and one on the other side. Oh, that's so cute. I do love these flowers so much. They're adorable. Okay, so that was the Delightful Daisies. Then we had the True Gentleman. Then this one was from the also Whole Lot of Lovely, sorry, designer series paper. And then this one was from, I'm just having a look, oh yeah, it's the coffee one. What's it called? Coffee Break. Okay, so you've got Coffee Break, Whole Lot of Lovely, True Gentleman, and the Daisies. So those are our 4 projects. Let me scooch that up so you can see. There we go. 4 projects, all using designer series paper. So it's a good way of using up your bits before the new catalogue comes. And I know we've got, you know, a few months left yet, but I like to start early on getting prepared because you'll be seeing the new catalogue soon. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you want to be able to see the new products first, then all you need to do is join my team. So then you will get to see the catalogue before everybody else. So on Saturday, me and Mum will be on stage and get to see the catalogue. So I'm very excited, as you can probably tell. So that's it for today. Thank you so much to everybody who joined me, and I see lots of chat. You're all chatting away, so that's awesome. I love it. Don't forget to come and join me in my Facebook group. There's links in the description, and any questions you have when the video goes up after the live is finished, when the video goes up, just pop a comment on there and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much again for joining me today, and we'll be back on Wednesday with a colour challenge, Saturday with another tutorial, and then back here on Monday for another live class. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you then. Bye.